하나, 둘, 하나, 둘, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. To Asia. Whenever I go live, Facebook wants to act crummy, wants to act like a big poo-poo head. Almost done posting. You know, I used to even be afraid to like go live on Facebook. And I didn't used to be afraid. I used to be afraid to go live and like share it because I didn't want people knowing that I'm live when anyway, let me just get to the point. Pick up computer. Sorry, I gotta shut something down because it's like bugging out on me. Let me shut this down. Shut this down. Shut this down. Shut this down. Facebook needs to hurry up. This one's me or an actual human being, but hello if it's you and you're here. So here I am attempting to go live, but everything is working against me. Okay. Never mind. We're just gonna leave Facebook. That's what we're gonna do. So, 안녕하세요. So real quickly, I just want to go over my reasons why I'm here and why I'm gonna be here another 6 months. Another 6 months, y'all. I can't believe it's already been almost 9 months. It's been eight months and some change that I've been here. By the way, don't mind the face paint. Y'all know some of y'all know that I face paint. And I've been doing that since high school. So anyway, I face painted the kids today. We had our little fall festival this Friday afternoon. So anyway, reasons why I'm staying here for another 6 months. I signed my contract 2 days ago, I believe it was. Yeah, I'm staying here. It wasn't like that hard of a decision for me to make because I had thought about it a month prior, and that's when I was kind of on the fence. But I figured I didn't even have to write down, like, I thought about writing down a pros and cons list, but I didn't end up doing that because I realized that the pros do outweigh the cons of me staying here. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't love everything about Korea by any means. I don't love anything about anywhere that I would live, though, to be honest. Um, but I'm gonna go over the reasons why I'm going to stay another 6 months. So I signed those papers because number one, I really like my school. I like my school, and it's crazy because my head teacher asked me through my mentor teacher. She literally asked me, "Why do you want to stay here? Why did you choose to extend?" And I gave all these different reasons, and she was like, "Oh, I thought it was just because you like the school." And I'm like, "Oh, no, that's like a no-brainer for me." That's like what I automatically think, like, "Oh, yeah, I like the school a lot." So I didn't really think that was necessary to even say why I wanted to stay. But yeah, I love my school. The teachers are great there, staff is great, administration's awesome. Everybody just, to me, works really well together, from what I can tell. Principal's awesome, vice principal's awesome. Everybody's cool, for the most part. But I really love my students. They're near and dear to my heart. And I always think about the end. The end. I always think about how I'm gonna miss everybody when I have to leave because I can't stay here forever. But, yeah, it's been quite an experience. We have a lot of celebrations, festivals, different activities that they do with the kids. Our kids are freaking spoiled out of this world. Like, they get so much, honestly, there's a lot of pressure in the school system, in Korea. I'm just comparing things to what I remember from when I was in elementary school. It just seems like the load is a lot on them. They have a lot of extracurricular activities and, you know, that they have to be a part of, with their curriculum, their after school activities. So this is what the fall festival was. It actually wasn't a festival. It was more of like a performance, and they had to perform dancing, doing drums, singing, ukulele and guitar and all this awesome stuff. And lo and behold, what did I teach on this week? Instruments. So that was the Lord. That was God. Cause I mean, they basically already knew all the words I was teaching them. So it was perfect timing because I had noticed my kids were a little bit like tired this entire week. And I'm thinking like, okay, even like during one of their classes, one of the teachers had said, okay, next week we're going to make sure that we don't do any games because they're a little bit tired from, and I realized it was from the fall festival. He didn't mention the fall festival, but I realized they've been working so hard with that on top of their regular academics. Anyway, that has nothing to do with reasons why. It basically pulling back into my reasoning for this live. I feel like the school is genuinely an easy school to work with. I feel like when I need something, it's pretty much done. I feel like the kids are spoiled, the staff is spoiled, I'm spoiled. Everybody's pretty much happy. I don't find a lot of issues. There's been a few times where I've requested something and it was like, "No, sorry, we can't do that." But usually anything I ask for, they're able to find it or able to do it for me. So, it's pretty smooth sailing. I mean, when it comes to school. As far as also in living in Korea, I feel like I have a better sense of community here versus when I'm back home. When I'm back home, I feel like it's harder because my church is in a different city than where I live. And um, I don't know. Something's just different about Detroit. Detroit, it's great. It's great to have community, but my church is bigger there and it's just not the same. Oh, there's a lot of there's just a lot of people and you just don't feel as close to people or you just don't feel that you're as close to your Bible study people. Maybe it's just because people have different backgrounds or whatever, but being here anyway, not trying to compare it to home. Being here, I find that my sense of feeling like grounded and like somewhat in a community is like stronger here. Even if I'm gone like for a few weeks, like I still feel like I can come right back and feel similar. Now, I'm sure after a few months or so, like after this semester ends, that might feel different because people do come and go. Um, Especially if you're somebody that's been here for an extended period of time. I'm talking years, like, but for me, I haven't really felt that yet because I've only been here like 8 months and some people have left already, but I still feel like the sense of community is still strong here. Um, yeah, so also like I really love the convenience here. There's just a greater chance of you being able to just be able to take a bus or do like a 10 to 30-minute walk and you're where you need to be. You don't have to worry about where do I go get food? There's tons of restaurants here. Even when you're a pescatarian like me, it's a little bit harder, but I have my places now in my area that I know about. So I can always reach those places with ease. Um, as far as doctors, dentists, everything is so freaking close. Like you don't have to like when I'm back home, I have to like go see the same doctor and usually it's just more efficient and effective that way, but um here it just feels a little bit different. I'm sure that people who have lived here all their lives, I'm sure they found a good doctor where they can go to. But there's a lot of hurdles for in Detroit if you want to switch doctors as far as transportation wise. You need to um, have something set up with that because the doctor that you like could be 30 miles away from you, and maybe you can't find a good doctor within 10 miles away from you. But it's a lot easier here because there's so many clinics here. There's so many clinics, doctors, and their system is very efficient with getting you seen. It doesn't take super de duper long. You're not waiting in the waiting room super long. Um, yeah, what other conveniences do you there's always cafes you can hang out at if you don't feel like sitting at home. Um, food is cheaper here, like a meal. You pay maybe around 4 to 5 bucks US dollars for. Yeah, it's to me it's a no-brainer when it comes to convenience. It's a lot more convenient to live here. You don't have to drive. Um so far and spend all the gas money to get somewhere. You can just take a bus or a train. I live, a little over an hour train ride to Seoul. So that's really great. I love that because I get that big city balance when I want it without having to take a long bus ride or something or a long train ride. It's still kind of long, but um I think it's worth it. It's honestly worth it, and I'm young, I have the energy. Next thing I love about living in Korea is the independence I have. I have my own apartment. Um, yeah, I get to just be able to make my meals when I want to. I don't have to worry about somebody's using the kitchen or somebody's in the bathroom. If I want to do my hair, I don't have to fight nobody cuz I don't know, a lot of people in my age generation, like millennials, we have to do the roommate thing. I mean, I haven't done the roommate thing since college, but I technically have roommates. My mother and my sister, I was living with them, so that was kind of a roommate situation if you want to call it. And I didn't even have my own room, and I realize having my own space is very important. Although I don't think it's ideal to live alone all your life. Just not for me personally. I feel like if I'm gonna live alone, now is the time to do it. So I'm good at being able to take buses now. I feel independent in that way. At first, when I first came here, I felt like I was like a child and I really needed help with everything. But, I would say I'm past the training wheels at this point. Only thing I really need to just have somebody break it down to me is how to ride the train in Seoul. Like, no one yet has been able to explain it to me in a way that I understand everything. But who knows? Maybe other people have issues too, even for I know locals have issues as well with the train sometimes. It's not easy in the city, but being here, I'm in a rural area, so it's a little bit easier. Um, yeah, so I just feel a greater sense of independence. I just feel like I'm more of an adult living on my own. Which leads into the next point, solitude. I feel like more free. and more able to have that solitude. When I was back in Michigan, I would just sit in my car to get solitude for the most part, or I'd have to wait until my family left the house. Um, and then at work, I would get solitude through just like sitting in a massage room when it's not busy. But as far as solitude here, I find that I find more places. I feel like I find more places where there's solitude. Being able to just relax, like in the nurse's room at school or going outside. You have time to just take in nature, take in your surroundings, or, give yourself a time to just pray or think. Also, being here, living alone, I get that time. And also, I have a lot of free time with the way my schedule is. So I just don't always feel that Bali pressure that a lot of people feel here, because Bali means like hurry, hurry. And it's just a strong part of this culture. People are very fast paced and competitive, and it's led to the success of Korea, since the war. But man, sometimes it's stressful. I saw it in my kids today. They were stressed out. Like, they were just looking like they were so done. They were absolutely done. I could tell. They were like, "I don't wanna be here. I'm tired, teacher. I'm bored," or whatever, because they were practicing, I'm sure, for weeks and weeks for this festival. So, it's finally done now, and I'm proud of them. But yeah, so this leads into my next point about why I'm staying here. I feel like it just makes more sense now that I'm here. During the vacation time, I utilize the travel. Being able to travel throughout Asia is awesome, because I find that Asia is somewhat safer to travel in. I feel safer, I wanna say, especially as a woman. I don't wanna say all of Asia, but I've only been to Japan now and then Korea. Um, Traveling even throughout Korea, it's convenient. The buses are relatively cheap, and yeah, there's always things to see, there's always sights to see. I personally also just I have plans to go to China, and that's really exciting for me. So, um, being able to do that in the future, and then I want to make plans maybe to go somewhere else as well, another country, another few, maybe two other countries, three other countries at most. If I'm gonna pull that off, I need more than just um, this winter vacation to do that. And flights are cheaper than leaving the US, so might as well get it in while I can fit it in. Yeah. Um yeah, that's pretty much it. Another thing, and this is honestly one of my strongest reasons, I do not want to go back to Korea in the winter. I mean, I don't want to go back home in the winter time. And actually, I don't want to go back home, period. I want to keep the ball rolling with living abroad. My thing is I need to set up a plan for myself for how I'm going to accomplish that, and where's my next destination, and what will I be doing in my next destination. So because those plans haven't unfolded yet for me, I wanted to be more safe than sorry. And I wanted to go ahead and extend those 6 more months to give myself some time to figure out what my next step is after this. Um, Yeah, I really don't have a desire specifically to go back to Michigan, but even if I did, it would only be for a few months, and I'd rather those few months be in the summertime. And it's not that I don't like winter, like I like the four seasons, but a winter here is better than a winter in Michigan, I think. Only thing is, I don't have my family. My family is in Michigan, so that's kind of sad. And then friends as well. But you know, I'll I just I've made new connections here. I've found some roots here, and I don't feel like uprooting out yet out of where I've kind of found myself planted. So yeah, I'm really trying to take this time in Korea. I've done a lot of little partying and stuff like that. Kind of had my time to do that. I also feel like there's some time where I need to explore more my interests, my goals, my hobbies, do more self reflection, do more just planning for what lies ahead for me, and starting to get more focused on the right things. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to share with YouTube world. I know not a ton of people watch my lives, but I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep doing it because this is my journal of thoughts. This is my journal of material that I have to share that I want to look back on. So if you want, you can like and subscribe, comment, rate. Um, and if you have anything you want to share about Korea, if you've been here, or if you've lived here, or if you're living here now, or if you're an English teacher, or nothing related to this, feel free. I love random comments. I'm a very random person, and I like making random comments myself. So, all right. Hope to see you in the next one. Annyeong. You gonna do it? You gonna do it? I guess we're gonna be streaming forever then, huh? Wow. This sucks.